Hi guys, I'm back again. I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to show you I still have all of your names in my heart and I'm wishing every single one of you well. Today I thought we would read a book to start out your flower unit that I sent home for you. The book title is called The Tiny Seed. That is your title. And the author is Eric Carle. He does a lot of good books. I'm not sure we've read one of his yet, but I really like a lot of his books. So let's start out and find out about this tiny seed. Oh, first, Eric Carle also is the illustrator. Do you remember what the illustrator does? He what? Draws the pictures. So he writes the words, he's the author, and he draws the pictures. He's the illustrator. I don't know if you guys can see those pictures. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. So see, remember we talked about in fall how the leaves and all those things fall? Well, these are flower seeds. And the wind is coming up and taking all these flower seeds off into the wind. One of these seeds is tiny. See this tiny seed down here? He's the tiny one. It is smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? I wonder where they're all going to land, where they're going. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. So that tiny seed is still okay. I'll let you guys look at these pictures. Do you see all the seeds here? These are all seeds. These are mountains with snow and ice on the top of them. Let's read about this. Another seed lands on a tall, icy mountain. Right here, he landed on the mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. See, tiny seed is still over here. He can't fly as fast as the others, but he's still there. Here's a picture. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water. This seed right here, you can barely see it because it's about the same color as the stuff down here, but he falls into the ocean. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. You see the tiny seed is still down here. He doesn't go as high. I hope he doesn't fall into the ocean. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. See, here's the tiny seed. He's lower than the rest of them, but the wind's still pushing him on. Finally, the wind stops, and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It's so small that the bird doesn't see it. The light's not very good in here, so I don't know if you can see it, but the tiny seed is right here. The bird didn't see it. He went for the bigger seeds. Now it's winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. All the seeds are settled down here. I'll show you in just a minute. They look as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. So here's the ground. Here's all the snow in the sky, and the snow is still falling. The snow covers those seeds like a blanket. A hungry mouse that lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Now this may be really hard to see, but you see all these seeds? Those are the big seeds, and the tiny seed is right here. Now it's spring, kind of like right now for us, it's spring outside. After a few months, the snow has melted, birds fly by, the sun shines, and rain falls. The seed grows so round and full, they start to burst open. Now they are plants. You see down here, they're bursting open and starting to become plants. First, they send roots down to the earth, into the earth. Remember when we talked about our trees, how the roots go down in the ground and hold that tree in place? That's the same way as flowers. Then their stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It's a big, fat weed. Okay, so let's see if you can see which one is bigger. Which one do you think is the weed? Yeah, this one right here, isn't it? It's much bigger than the others. That weed takes all the sunlight and the rain away from the small new plants. So see, there's a plant right here trying to grow, but this weed grows up so big and it takes all of the nutrients from the ground and it takes all the sun from the sunlight, and this weed, or this flower right here, this plant, it can't grow because this weed took over. That's why we have to pull weeds all the time. It's not very fun. I don't like it. But the tiny seed, remember our tiny seed? He hasn't begun to grow yet. It'll be too late. Hurry. But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. This looks like a foot. I wonder what's going on here. The warm weather also brings children out to play. They too have been waiting for springtime. One child does not see the plants as he runs along, and oh, he breaks one. Now it can't grow anymore. Oh, he didn't see it and he stepped on it, and now it can't grow because it's broken. See if where our tiny seed is. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. Oh, we're gonna have to count those. Okay, so here's our tiny plant. How many leaves did they say it had? 3. 3 leaves. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and here's our big neighboring plant. It said it had how many? 7. Let's see if we can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which plant has more leaves? The big one, you're right. Which plant has less or fewer leaves? Our little tiny seed. He's still little, isn't he? Oh, look, a bud. And now even a flower. So see here, it started out as a bud. Do you remember when we talked about trees and the buds on the trees, how they come like this and then they open up into the big flower? Remember that? Guys, do it with me. The bud, and then slowly it opens into a flower. That's what happens with these flowers too. What is happening? First, there are footsteps, then a shadow, then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. Someone's picking that flower, aren't they? A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. That's sad for the flower, but that was really nice that he picked that flower to give to his friend. That was kindness. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. The sun shines on it, and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. Look how tall that tiny seed grew into that big, tall flower. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. Do you remember our bees? If any of you watched our videos last time, and how we need those bees come to that center of that flower and they get all that nectar and the pollen and they take it and make honey out of it. And they pollinate other flowers too. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it's autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler. The wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flowers. Some petals drop from the giant flower. They sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time, the flower's seed pods open. So we have inside this flower where all the seeds are at. It's called a seed pod. And the wind shook it so much that that seed pod opened up. What do you think the wind's blowing? What do you think these all are? You're right, the seeds. The winds are going to take those seeds. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. So look at this page. Look at how many seeds there are. Do you think there are more seeds here? Or are there more seeds here when the tiny seed started? Which page do you think has more seeds? This page or this page? Yeah, this page, right? Which one has fewer or less? This one or this one? Yep, this page has less seeds. Hey guys, I did something. I built your flower like what I sent home for you guys to do. I don't know if you can see that very well, but I have my flower built. And then I also put on here what parts of the flower there are.